everyone, and welcome to Lety Does Playing Lone Wolf, The Huntress, Book 3, Echoes of Eternity, Part 12. So I filmed parts 11 and 12 of this Let's Play all in one go, and this clip that you're watching marks the beginning of Part 12. If you haven't seen Part 11 yet, you can go find the link for that in this video's PureTube description. Let's get started. Quieting your mind and conjure the most peaceful image you can. Perhaps it is the light of the crystals, winking out one by one, leaving you in pitch blackness. But you end up thinking of the beach from your dream. You remember the words spoken in the dream. How are you still here? And think that is an appropriate question after everything you have witnessed. Then the underneath falls on you. For a time, there are no more thoughts. Turn to 150. I didn't even try to get out of that. I just accepted it. Oh no. Okay, what do I need to do? Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Mark another X at the top of your action chart and restore your endurance to its maximum. You come back to yourself outside of the hedge maze, but this time you can immediately tell things are different. Gone are the smiles and the happy laughter. Now, people wander around as if in a daze or holding each other sobbing. You hear shouts and crashing noises coming from up one of the roads. There you are, says the high voice of Tavosh. He darts out of the corner of the maze towards you. He is still missing a shoe, but it is his other shoe now. This is your doing, isn't it? You found the source of the medicine. You stopped it? You nod, still overwhelmed. What's happening to everyone? They are waking up, Tavosh says gleefully. Freed of the influence of the evil that gripped them. Soon they will be looking for answers, and we need to be ready to help. Come with me. Tavosh drags you back inside the maze, traversing it by memory while you describe your trip through the underneath. By the time you have climbed down the ladder and are standing outside the entrance to the forge, you have finished describing the wet nurse and the dwarven spirit that appeared upon her defeat. You saw him? Tavosh asks in awe. You saw Maledictus? Oh, if only I would have known. I would have sent you with a list of questions, the things he could have told us. We didn't have a lot of time, you say, following Tavosh inside the forge. Yes, time. Right. Tavosh cuts in. That's the key thing now. We have to shut down the forge, you and I. We have to make sure that these events are locked in place as the real events. The events that will carry forward into the future. Now that Naar's plan has fallen to pieces, we can return at last to the normal flow of time. You are about to share what Maledictus told you about the bold people and the terrible choice you must make. But another voice now echoes through the forge, rising above the rumble of the machinery. You've cost us much, but finding this makes it worth it, the Faceless says, stepping out from another of the honeycomb rooms, flanked by two whisperers. You reach for your weapon, but your hand is caught by the mighty fist of a speaker who emerges from the shadows. Unlike the citizens you saw outside, these seem completely unaffected by the defeat of the wet nurse. Gray fluid still pumps through their masks and helmets, and they are as devoted to Venthusias as ever. They ignore Tavosh, clearly not considering the Kloon to be much of a threat. The Faceless slowly turns his blank mask to all the corners of the room. If only we had known this was here in the first place, we never would have needed the wet nurse. She was very inefficient. Oh well, You know the saying, you can't make breakfast without breaking a few eggs. He laughs at his own pun, a snuffling sound, snorting sound, more like choking than laughing. If you have the Voltac hand cannon, turn to 212, otherwise turn to 165. I do have it, but first let's do this. We will do plus and X. We actually don't need to restore EP, but I will write that anyway. Because I didn't lose any, which is like awesome. I didn't think I would. I wouldn't, but yeah. Here's another X. And finally, have cannon. I have shot left, yeah? One more? Where is it? One more. Okay. One more shot left. That's fine. It's all I need. Now this is a pretty thing, the Faceless says, approaching you and lifting your hand cannon from its holster with a quick hand. Dwarven make, and that symbol, this belonged to the little king who lived here before us, didn't it? It did, Tavosh admits, as did this one. So saying, Tavosh reaches inside his cloak and draws forth his own hand cannon. With a shout, he pulls the trigger and blows a fist-sized hole through the head of the speaker holding you. Run, Tavosh cries, grabbing your hand and yanking you into the next room. We have to remove the box. It's what keeps all of this going. Without it, the forge will be useless to them. You race together to the heart of the forge, in the very center of all the honeycombs, a circular room that glows and roars with an enormous furnace. The door to the furnace, as large as a barn door, is open, and the fire inside is so intense that you cannot look directly at the flames. In front of the furnace stands a pedestal, red hot, just with the ambient heat. On top of it is a golden box, just small enough to be held in one hand. Magical energy crackles around the box. The furnace is connected to all the furnaces in the forge. They are all meant to power this one box, Tavosh says as he hurriedly reloads his hand cannon. It is the thing that I turned on to make the time loop. When I remove it, the forge will shut down. The loop will end. We can't stop the time loop, you say quickly, even as Tavosh grabs the box, which appears to be cool despite its appearance. Naar is still being summoned. Killing the wet nurse didn't stop it. To stop it, we have to... An explosion cuts you off. Tavosh looks down at his chest. As a hole the size of a grapefruit appears where the Faceless has just shot him with your stolen gunna. Ah, I think I like this toy, the Faceless says, striding into the room. Tavosh tumbles, ripping the box from its pedestal. There is a loud thump noise, and the lights begin to flicker in the forge, and the floor begins to shake. The Faceless is thrown off balance, leaning against the wall. Tavosh presses the box and his gunna into your hands. Add one available shot to the Voltac hand cannon. Tell people about my books, Tavosh says to you weakly. Then he reveals a fire seed in his left hand, before throwing it into the open furnace. There is a roar, and even before you can feel the intense bite of the flames, the furnace and the entire forge explode. Your last thought is to wonder, is this, at last, the final end? Turn to 70. Not Tavosh! Did we just end the time loop? Oh, they said it's the size of my hand, but that's the size of the Sindarian vessel, right? That's 2 things now that are like the size, that size of my hand, with a lot of power. Didn't I have demons inside or something? Okay, Tavosh is dead. We are going to write plus shot. Well, is Tavosh dead? They might come back. Plus shot to my cannon. I actually still had 1, but now I have 2, which is even better than 1. Yes. Excellent. And then... do I need to write plus box? I don't think so. Right? Okay. I don't think so. Because... it would tell me. 70. It is not the end. You are once again on the beach, the taste of grit filling your mouth. Your hands still clasp the golden box, the time vessel. Sand runs down the grooves of its incredible carvings, which look like a sun and moon bursting with beams of light. It holds a lid, but it does not seem to be made for opening, for it holds itself tightly shut by some hidden mechanism. Groaning, you look up and see the city of Voltac ahead, guarded as ever by the spear-wielding Colossus. The day is young. Dawn has barely pushed the sun above the horizon. There is no sign of Tavosh on the beach. You look back at the city and see a thin line of smoke rising up from the mountainside. You know in your heart that it is the forge. The forge is broken. This is the final reset. A deep sadness overtakes you. For years, Tavosh stood alone against a god. The full weight and loneliness of his burden hits you all at once, and you bury your head in your hands and shake with sobs for several long moments. Your morning is interrupted by a terrible pain exploding in every muscle in your body all at once. All the memories of your deaths since coming to Voltac are flooding into you. All those pains happening again. Your heart beats so fast you think it will explode, while your brain frantically struggles to convince itself that you are not, in fact, still dead. Look at the number of X's by the top of your action chart. Erase 1 for each of the following that is true. You have Venthusias charm. You have the crystal star pendant. You have the white ring. Count the remaining X's. If there are more than 10 left, then you watch in horror as cracks appear in your rapidly thinning skin and blood seeps through. Your body breaks and splits apart, crumbling into dust that is lost in the sand, soon leaving only an empty cloak behind. Your life and hunt end here. If there are 10 or fewer X's, then subtract this amount from your maximum endurance and reset your current endurance to this new amount. You have crashed back into the time stream and you have survived the experience, though not without lasting trauma. You put the time vessel into your backpack. You must erase another item to make room for it if your backpack is full. Then get to your feet. Time is running forward again, but it is moving fast and you still have to stop Naar. The words of Maledictus run heavy in your heart as you head towards the city one last time. Are you infected with the kunai parasite? If so, turn to 82. If not, turn to 26. Damn it. Well, the good news is it didn't tell me to It didn't tell me to mark another X from where I am here. Okay, I don't know what the white ring is. I don't have that yet. No. I have the crystal pendant that Cathar gave me. I have Parisia's charm, so those are both true. Doo-doo-doo. Minus X? Minus X? I don't know what I should do for that. So I erase these two. Then it says subtract the amount from your maximum endurance and reset your current endurance this new amount. Okay. I'm back to 20, baby. Great. Thank you. And finally, right here in my backpack, let's go ahead and get rid of this diamond. I don't think it matters anymore. The world is ending. Wait, what? Rusted dagger. Oh no, I'm not supposed to have that anymore. Erase that bad boy. Okay, let me fix this real quick. Okay. What a disaster. Let's move the diamond here. And then let's, how do you want me to mark this? Time vessel? Okay. Let's see. I wrote down, yeah, minus rusty dagger, but I didn't delete. I didn't erase it. Whoopsie. I've erased it now. Plus time vessel. Oops. Minus 3 EP. Max. Both. Okay. Next, I am infected with the kunai parasite, unfortunately, so we will go over to 82. I hope I don't die from this. I've come pretty far. I don't really want this to be... Oh no, oh no, oh no. You have barely taken 3 steps when once more the parasite stirs. You turn and vomit into the sand. So strong is the feeling of infestation that you expect to see worms wriggling in the bile, but there is nothing there. And why would there be? The creature moving through your body does not want to leave. It intends to live inside of you, controlling you the way the speakers drove the golem suits. It will not be long now before it has you in its grip. You can only hope that you can fight off its influence long enough to do what you need to do. Turn to 26. Well, maybe we'll get that cure. I love how it's also stuck in the time loop with me. I don't die and then also get healed from the kunai parasite. Like that, the parasite doesn't get left behind. It's coming along for the ride. Of course. Horrible thing. The Vol people have gathered on a large circular plaza made of colorful tiles that illustrates the god Kai inside the shining sun. The plaza is a viewpoint set at the end of the southern curve, at level with the golden warrior statue's face. The statue's eyes may be blank, her head facing the beach, yet nonetheless it feels as though she is aware of you, about to glance over and assure you that you are all okay. Over 100 people have gathered here, some children coming to their parent for comfort. Some are sobbing, many look lost or dazed. No one stands alone. Everyone has hold of someone's hand, or clasps a shoulder, or is drawn into a hug. While as far as the restored timeline is concerned, none were imprisoned for more than a few weeks. Their minds now recall being enslaved for years, while time reset over and over. Walking through the crowd is the black-haired woman with perfect skin and white gloves. She knows the name of each and every person and addresses them as such, saying the right words to bolster their spirits and soothe their trauma. From her lips comes words of comfort. My people, do not despair. Be assured that Venthusias sees your sorrow. Our island has been under attack by outside forces. He will not ignore this. Your pains will be visited tenfold upon our enemies. By his grace will this trauma be healed. Come to the halls of supremacy, and he will show you the way as he always has. She lies, you say, stepping forward. Everyone turns to you. Do you wish to try and rally the crowd with anger? Turn to 79. Do you wish to try and rally the crowd with hope? Turn to 51. I feel like hope is the obvious answer. Yeah. I mean, anger, honestly, would be pretty good to see Venthusias get his butt kicked. If we can see that even. Or, I don't know what this lady's deal is. If everyone else is waking up, why isn't she? I guess she's not affected in the same way that the faceless guy isn't. Hope. Hope is what I will write. There. Hopefully they will be reasonable, and this is the right way to go. As you look at the people gathered here, you feel nothing but love for them. They are scared and traumatized from years of abuse. They are vulnerable, and Venthusias' stooge is using this fear to take advantage of them one last time, to keep them complacent long enough for Naar to enter Magnemon. You decide then and there that you will not harm these people, but will fight for them. Citizens of Voltac, you say, your voice filled with both the weariness of 7,000 years of journeying and the strength to travel twice that number if needed. I see your pain. This woman, she twists the arrow of fear in your hearts. She knows you feel that you have no control, that your world is falling apart around you. She wants you to believe that you are not strong enough to fight back. But I look at you and I think she is wrong. I see resilience. I see a people that will not be beaten down nor bend the knee again to one who has lied to you, who gave you over the thraldom of evil. You are strong enough for this fight, and you will not be alone. I will be there with you. We need to go to the halls of supremacy, yes, but not to listen to Venthusias. We go there to demand justice for his crimes against you. You see hope kindled in the faces of many, but you also see doubt and confusion. After all, who are you? Someone they have never seen before, telling them what to do, what is most difficult, telling them to fight back. The white-gloved woman smiles at you, clearly secure that they will choose her over you, that they will choose what is familiar and seems safe rather than risk hope. Pick a number from the random number table. If you have the art of wordcraft, you may pick twice and keep the higher number. To this, add 1 for each of the following you have. Brand of Wisdom, Bull Headscarf, Lucky Coin. Subtract 1 if you have ever had the demonic mask, for your scarred face makes you stand out even more. And also if you have the necklace of teeth. Write the total down under a new knowledge of rallying the people. The minimum number is 0. Do you have knowledge of Master of Ravens? If so, turn to 90. If not, turn to 214. No! You remember a while ago, I was like, should I get rid of the necklace of teeth? Let's see what we got. Where are you? I have you. There you are. Necklace of teeth. Great. Brand of Wisdom, Lucky Coin, Demonic Mask, Necklace of Teeth, don't have the bull headscarf. All these things cancel out. Where would I even get the bull headscarf? I have a Voltac hand cannon, and that's all I need. Okay, if you have the Art of Wordcraft, great, I do. So we get to pick twice. A 7. A 6. Okay, well, a 6. And you want me to do what with that number? Write down the total number under a new knowledge of rallying the people. Okay. Sure. Just 6? Okay, 6. And finally, I do have the Master of Ravens knowledge. Yes, knowledge. So, we will go to 90. Okay. I knew I should have gotten rid of that necklace of teeth. Or, did I say 7? Did I say a 7 and a 6? Shoot. Was the first number I said 7? 7 and then 6, right? Or was it 6 and 5? I think it was 7. Because I get to pick the higher of the two numbers. So this should actually be a 7. Oh, I don't know. I forgot. I know it was one number and then the other one was one number lower. I think it was first 7, then 6 instead of 6 and 5. That makes sense to me. Okay. Wait, isn't he dead? She speaks the truth. These words come from above, carried on a wind driven to gusts by the beating of huge wings. Rivaan, his white hair blowing wildly around him, dives from the skies aboard the back of his giant raven. Hear my story, people of Voltac, my people. I am the oldest of you all, the only elder left on Voltac. I was just a child when the great ships carried us from Magnamon, led by Venthusias in his sky ship, led on by the fear of the plague which we were told would soon destroy the mainland, which we were told killed our queen, Jin, who had preached that we should not flee. For a time it seemed true. When the plague came to Voltac, people died quickly and we were desperate for a cure. I refused the medicine, saying it should go to younger people, people who had a life left to live, people like my children and grandchildren. I happily watched them take the cure and waited for the plague to claim my own life. It did not, nor did it take my family, yet none of them stand here now. My sons became speakers. They went into the halls, and when they came out, they were no longer the people I knew and loved. Not in body nor mind. My daughters disappeared, and I have never seen them again. And my friends and neighbors, they no longer knew me. They called me heretic, and whispered of the dark god Naar. A great rage filled me when I understood how Venthusias had lied to our people he had once promised to protect. I thought of Jinn and how we should have listened to her and stayed behind. I prayed for the power to fight back, and then my prayers were answered. I remembered a power my grandmother used to say our people had, a power to speak with nature and commune with animals. That power is our birthright, a power Venthusias took from us when he changed us, gave us what he called gifts. A murmur runs through the rest of the Vol people at these words, like the distant sound of surf. You sense disbelief, fear, even some anger, but they all quiet when Rivaan throws his hands wide and lets loose a mighty cry. A conspiracy of ravens answers, erupting from out of the crevices of the statue below, flocking around Rivaan like a protective shield. What is your name? Rivaan asks you, as ravens land all around him, cawing protectively. I am called the Huntress, you say. It is the only name I have. We will go to the halls with the Huntress, Rivaan cries to the crowd. We go to make Venthusias pay for his crimes. This time a cheer goes up from the rest of the people, a cheer tinged with anger and demands for justice. You look around for the white-gloved woman, but she has disappeared. Turn to 170. Did I remember that wrong? I thought both Rivaan and his bird died. And, that, like, their bodies were thrown off a cliff or something? Or maybe they reset? Where was that? A fight, right? That was a while back. No? At the courtyard? Maybe he just survived that. Or maybe, does he reset with the time as well? Every time he dies? I thought it was just me. I don't know. And then he says he didn't know my name. But I ran up to him and didn't I tell him, like, my name's the Huntress, I need your help. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. I'm not sure. Okay. So I think we're nearing the end, maybe. We will see what happens, but I'm going to need to cut this one here before it gets too long. I believe I have corrected my mistakes from the last one. I don't think I made any in this one, so things are going pretty well. That's all I got for you for now. Get out there, do all the stuff, and I'll see you next time. Bye!